Greetings and welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team video review. Today I'm going over the Kill Team manual for 2022. Before we get into things, thanks goes to Games Workshop for providing this to review for free. As always, I aim to be honest, impartial and constructively critical. Before we get into things, please remember to like and subscribe as well as comment. Let me know what you think of the annual as well as the review as a whole. And if you want, I've got a Discord you can check out for free in the episode description below, as well as a Patreon if you want to give me some more support. But yeah, today I'm reviewing the new Kill Team Annual for 2022. It's got lots of stuff in it, some of it reprinted. So what's in this book? What's in the book? So you've got rules for multiplayer games. So you've got official rules for playing multiplayer games. You've got additional rules for like Sentry mode, which is kind of just a reprint. And then you've got 6 kill teams, 4 which are the White Dwarf teams. So effectively, because we haven't had 2 White Dwarf teams for the last quarter, it's because they're in here. So I think I'm going to review those kill teams separately. We'll see how I get into it or how long the review is. But I'll briefly go over the kill teams. But let's get into it. So there's no narrative. It's just a book. So first off, we have the Critical Operations mission pack. So you now have rules for free missions for doing 3-player games and free missions for doing 4-player games. So for multiplayer, for the player order, some rules specify an order. To establish player role, all players roll a single d6. The highest roll is first, and the second highest roll is second, and so on. If 2 or more people have a tied result, those players keep rolling until an order established between them. So if 2 people roll 6, they have to keep rolling to see who rolls higher. Kill zone is using 2 kill zone game boards along the long edge, creating a 30 by 44 inch area. When determining which kill zone is in play, players should only use 1 kill zone for each game board, ensuring terrain is suitably placed across both game boards. Drop zones. Players select drop zones by establishing order. The first player selects one, followed by the second and third. For tac ops and victory points, tac ops are designed for 2 players on a 30 by 22 inch board. Therefore, we do not recommend them for their use in multiplayer battles. Instead, each player can score a maximum of 18 victory points from the mission objectives used instead of 12. If all players agree, they can use tac ops with their own adjustments for multiplayer rules, perhaps by restricting certain tac ops, e.g. those removing that don't function in multiplayer battles. So you've got the option there. For scouting and initiative, players do not do the scouting step. Initiative for the first turning point is determined by player order form, and you just can keep doing that. And then when determining initiative, they use this rule when rolling 1d6 to determine player order in the initiative phase. So you reroll initiative every turn, but you don't get scouting. So interestingly, you've got the 3-player missions here. So they're quite wide, but you've got like a nice spread of missions with interesting drop zones. Once again, nice layouts that are clear to help you with setting up terrains. And the 4-player missions, pretty neat as well. Pretty standard. You know, you could basically, everyone's got their own little section of the board, but it's not bad. I mean, the 4-player missions are more balanced because 4-player games should be more balanced, whereas 3 players usually results in 2 ganging up on 1. Then you've got the Last Stand mission pack. So the Last Stand is another narrative play where you've got 3 missions, and it basically is thematic, like literally your kill team is making a last stand. So for the Last Stand, when you're using this mission pack, which creates a battle, you've got defensive positions. So in the set up kill zone step, players gather terrain features and set them up as below. The defender selects 3 terrain features that are not being set up and places them into a pool. The attacker selects 1 terrain feature and sets it up, and they cannot set up within the specified dimensions. And then the defender sets up the remaining terrain from that pool. Superior numbers. In the ready operative step of each turning point, the attacker can roll 1d6 for each friendly operative that is incapacitated and removed from the kill zone, adding 1 to the result for each preparing token if that operative has any. On a 1 to 3, the operative gets a preparing token for future rolls. On a 4, remove all preparing tokens the operative has, and then set up again within black of the kill zone edge with an engage or conceal order. Any equipment they had is removed. Until the end of the ready operatives. At the end of the ready operative step, each turning point, the attacker can select any friendly operatives that have fewer than half their remaining wounds to be removed from the kill zone as incapacitated. So you can go like, going to get some injured guys off and roll to get more fresh ones on. Mission critical, you don't use tac ops, and it doesn't end after 4 turning points. Instead, the battle ends when the attacker achieves a mission objective. This means the defender cannot win, and it's only a matter of time until the attacker manages to wear them down and achieve victory. This is the idea of last stand missions to determine how long the defender can survive. We recommend keeping track of how many turning points a defender can prevent the attacker from achieving victory, as well as how many wounds the attacker loses. Players then can repeat the battle again, swapping the role and comparing their results. So it's kind of like Left 4 Dead: The Last Stand. You're going to die, but how long can you last? Then last stand assets at their start of their setup barricade step. Before setting up barricades, the defender selects 4 last stand assets and can use those instead. And each one can select it a maximum of once per game. So you've got a lot of neat special rules here with your last stand assets like ammo cache, barbed wire, gas bombs. So you've got like defensive stuff like mines, and then stuff to give you more cover, as well as making it more difficult for your opponent. Then you've got your standard mission, your free missions, effectively giving you set layouts and like missions you need to control. But they're all pretty neat. It's basically how long you can last against a superior foe. So pretty neat overall. Might do some battles of it. Like, I think it'd be really thematic, like Marines against Tyranids. That'd be really cool, but you can do that now. And in the book, it shows you examples of some assets to use that you can make that they have made to represent, you know, last stand equipment. And it's just really cool. A really nice narrative addition to the game. Then you've got your sentries. I'm not really going to cover sentries too much. It's just like what you get in Morok, attacker and defender. You know, it's got the standard fallback of sentries where it can take forever unless you house rule it. Once again, it's got the same selection of missions, I believe, from Morok. It's just a reprint and a collection, which is fine. As I said, more narrative content is really cool. Although I still prefer the last stand over sentry mode. I feel sentry mode is just too kind of RNG-ish. Well, at least in the last stand, the defender actually gets to do something while the attacker plays their own game, instead of just the attacker playing their own game. So pretty neat in that, in my opinion. And then you've got some example studio kill teams. So it's really nice showing what the studio have been up to. It's not bad. You know, you've got some nice selection of kill teams there. Now, here are the kill teams you get in this book. You get the Elucidan Star Striders, the Galapox Infected, and then 4 White Dwarf teams. The Warp Coven, Hunterclade, Wormblade, and Void Dancer Troop. So unfortunately, the latest FAQs and erratas aren't included in this book, because obviously they were only done a month or 2 ago, whereas this book has been in print for a while. The only thing that has been fixed was the... If you remember, the Hunterclade Assassin on White Dwarf had 4 attacks on like the Taser Goad and 2 on the Power Weapon. That looked like just to be a printing error in White Dwarf. It's 4 attacks in the book, so that is fine. It's just everything else is not accurate, which is a shame, but it's understandable considering this was probably printed quite far in advance. But it's nice that now these White Dwarf teams are all in one solidified place. Although it really would have been nice if they released an online version of this with up-to-date rules. But I'll briefly go over the Elucidan Star Striders and the Galapox. They really do deserve their own books, like reviews, which I will do. But it's basically a re-release of Kill Team Rogue Trader. So you get the ability to use both kill teams. They're both pretty balanced, although it's not too surprising to realize one of those kill teams out of the pair is very broken in Into the Dark. So very, very broken. But it's a nice way to use those kill teams. And yeah, it's nice that they've all been collated. But it was kind of obvious it was coming because White Dwarf had nothing for 3 months. So yeah, outside of just random terrain rules. But if you want full in-depth reviews of the Galapox Infected and the Elucidan Star Striders, I'll be doing reviews of those. And I've done some reviews for the kill teams in here already. Like, I've already done the Void Dancer Troop. The Void Dancer Troop are really good. Warp Coven are nice. Hunterclade are amazing at the moment because of the balanced data slate changes. And Wormblade are really solid as well. So if you haven't played or seen these rules yet, you've actually got a really good selection of competitive kill teams that are really fun to play. Your only barrier is how much you're willing to invest in those kill teams, because they do require multiple boxes, and only the Harlequins are probably the most cost efficient, because we don't know how the Elucidan Star Striders and the Galapox Infected are going to be released. Yeah, we know they're coming, just don't know when. So overall, would I recommend the Kill Team Manual? I think, yes, I would actually. It's pretty neat. I don't know the pricing. I think it's probably going to be like £25, maybe 30. It's actually a really, really fun book. What I like about it, well, like pros and cons, you've got rules for 3-player games, 4-player games. You've got a really fun narrative Last Stand mission. It collates the security Sentry missions if you want to play them. And you've got 6 kill teams in here, 4 collated White Dwarf kill teams, and 2 brand new kill teams, which are all really, really good to play. And I think if you're a competitive or casual player, you're going to like this book. Like, I'm really tempted to do Last Stand missions. Con-wise, it's not up to date with the latest FAQs and erratas, although I am appreciative of why. And the Sentry mode is kind of just a reprint. I think the only thing I would have liked in this book is just including all the terrain traits. I think that would have been nice just to bulk out a bit more, but that's the only real cons. But yeah, I think this is a really good book. As I said, I'm tempted to do Last Stand. I've got Itan, who has the Galapox Infected already from like years ago, so hopefully I can do a battle report with them soon, and hopefully Games Workshop releases these 2 new old kill teams soon so I can paint them up. Overall, it's a really good book. Can't wait to see what's going to happen in a year's time with the next one. I guess the only thing I would have really liked to see here is either up-to-date tweakings of the missions in the core book or tweaks to the TAC Ops, something like that. I think that would have been really neat because I guess, you know, Into the Dark kind of covers 9 new match play missions, but it would have been nice to have some tweaks to the missions we already have. Makes the annual even more nicer, even though I think it's quite nice already. But that's pretty much it from me. But if you want to buy the Kill Team Annual, you can do so via checking my episode description below, which has an affiliate link to Element Games, which will net you a 15 to 20% discount while costing no additional money for you while helping to support me and the channel. And yeah, if you want, you can like and subscribe as well as comment. Let me know what you think of this review. Did you like the annual or not? Do you think it's a worthy purchase or are you going to skip it? And if you want, I've got a Discord you can check out in the episode description below, as well as a Patreon if you want to give me some more support. And I'll have an article version of this in the episode description below. But yeah, I'll just shout out my patrons. So for my Adepts of the Crit, I have Zamaru, Sam, Tarun, Kenzie, John Thomas, Dave, Average Joe 27 and Adzik. And then for my Veterans of the Crit, I have Sam, Jur, and Confucius. So thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. But yeah, don't worry, this is like the 5th video I've done today. If you want, I've got the Elysian Star Striders and the Galapox and Vector videos we can check out as well. And if you're at Nova, say hi, because I'm at Nova right now. Well, technically, if you're watching this in the UK, I've probably gone back to sleep 5 or 6 a.m. there. But if not, send me your energy so I can win in Kill Team. I've said it like 5 times. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Please watch all the videos. It would make me so happy. And yeah, until next time, unless you get lost in the Kill Team Manual in a selection of either the Last Stand or trying to figure out what kill team to run next, remember, there's always one choice that's clear, as long as you can roll a crit.